Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 26th of August, 2026, which means there's only 1 week to go before the VEP deadline. So I'm hoping that we can spend a chunk of time in this meeting highlighting some of that. Before we do any of that, just a reminder, if you could please put your name down under the attendees, that'd be really handy. And let me put our agenda in chat. Is there anyone new this week or anyone who would like to take the opportunity to introduce themselves?
Hello, my name is Asaf. I'm working on flight control from Red Hat. I wrote my agenda on the open floor. I wanted to showcase how we're using KubeVirt 1.9 new features with Edge VMs. Hello?
We can hear you.
Sorry?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Asaf. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. Yeah, we'll get to your thing in just a second. Is there anyone else here who is new and would like to introduce themselves? So let's jump into our regular features. So as we said, next week, the 2nd of September, is our VEP freeze. And so that's, I'm guessing, where pretty much 98% of where our attention is. Following that, the 22nd of October will be our code freeze. A week later, our code thaw, with a GA date of the 18th of November. Not a lot to look at here with our CFP check-in, but I need to get rid of that. The only two events that we've got coming up are both KubeVirt summits. One is the virtual event. They'll be on the 15th of October. That is free, and you can register on this link here. And the schedule is there as well. Also, our KubeVirt summit live at KubeCon. We have a draft schedule, but we're waiting for it to be released by the CNCF in a couple of weeks. So that'll be on, I think we now know, we can expect it to be on the 11th of November, but that's still also to be confirmed. If you're aware of any other events or CFPs that are open, please let me know. I'll put them here and we can get more KubeVirt people there, or at least try it. So our calendar check-in. While this loads, there is a new change to one of our meetings. The SIG scale and performance meeting is now fortnightly. So it will not be tomorrow. It'll start fortnightly next week. Yes. I haven't updated this calendar because we have two calendars now. So tomorrow we'll just have our accelerated infrastructure enablement working group meeting. And then next week we've got our VEP discussion on Tuesday. That's only one day before the freeze. So that's really going to be probably last minute freakouts and people talking about how they can have an exception for their VEP. And then on Monday, Wednesday is the name of the day, the DRA meeting. I believe there was some talk about putting the DRA meeting on the alternating SIG scale days, but I'm yet to hear from most folks about that. Alrighty. So let me find my tabs again. I think we might jump a little bit. We're going to skip over the VEPs because that's going to chew a bunch of our time. And also, Edmar told me he's going to be late. Alay, you've got the next point on the agenda there.
Yeah, hi. I was just drafting all of the text, but I'll go quickly. So I think in in this 1.9 release cycle, we found regression with VMI creation to running. It was a significant regression. I think our baseline is 25 seconds, and we were going somewhere close to 55 seconds. And thankfully, the fix for this has been identified. The bug is not in KubeVirt, it's in Cryo, and folks are looking at it. But with this background, I think there was a conversation in 6 scale that we don't have enough signals right before the release, especially for features that are transitioning from alpha to beta defaulted on, to figure out which feature exactly caused the regression. So for context, I think about 8 or 9 features were going to beta this cycle, and in order to find the regression, we had to one by one disable all the features and find the actual culprit. So it was a long drawn out process. We were discussing if we can change um, we can change the alpha to beta graduation in a way that we can read or we can get a clearer signal from the perf and scale tests that get run. Maybe one of the option is that whichever feature is wanting to transition from alpha to beta this release has to at least enable the alpha feature gate in the performance lane for at least 2 weeks, and only then enable the default beta gate. Other option is we make this a template change for any feature that is going beta to at least give us 5 runs of perf and scale tests, and then reviewers can take it to beta. There are multiple options. I'm curious to hear what folks think about this. Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Actually, yeah, so that's a good idea. I think in general that after the code freeze, we have a stabilization phase. I mean, during all of this stabilization phase, we can just enable. I mean, we could start running the performance lane and see what hits us, and then before we're releasing, we could go back and revisit this. If one of the features is really offending us, they could just, I mean, we will have enough time to prevent it from going to beta.
Yeah, that is one option. I believe that is how this release cycle went. But I think the issue was that because right around code freeze, a lot of features get in at the same time. And the perf and scale tests have automatic beta on, right? So if the PRs merge almost at the code freeze time, after code freeze and the release, it's hard to pinpoint out of the 8 features which one is regressing the numbers, like which is the culprit. So I think it would be ideal to find the issues before the PRs merge instead of merging the PR and then reverting it later just before the release. At least that's my headspace from 6 scale head. I'm not sure if that's the route we should take, but I think for 6 scale that would be a more helpful one.
It's just we need to see how this would work in practice. I mean, if you look at the latest releases, I mean, we saw that a lot of the features are really asking for exception and then being developed until pretty much the last moment, and then
I see.
yeah, we don't have like I don't remember that we ever had the time where we had the feature, like I'm done developing in the middle of the cycle, and now I'm just waiting for for the release. I don't recall anything like this. So that's kind of a. I mean, the whole idea about the stabilization phase was that we would be able to address those issues. I don't know if Lubo here. Yeah, all right, that's just my thought. I don't want to take any more time.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Lubo was there in the 6 scale discussion when this happened. Another option that was floated there was maybe we come up with a separate lane which enables all alpha features and get a signal from there. But I'm not sure. Yeah, go ahead, Lubo.
Yeah, so I was actually for the, like gather the feedback from the lane before actually merging the graduation of the feature. And this could be one of the requirements for the webs.
Yeah, I think we have multiple different options. It was on my plate to start a KubeVirt mailing list, a thread for this to gather consensus asynchronously, but I did not find the cycles. I will do that this week. Hopefully, we can find asynchronous conclusion and improve the process here.
Thanks, Ale. Asaf Ben Natan, you want to talk about flight control. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. I made a very short presentation and demo. I don't want to keep you all from your important. Can you enable my share screen, please? Or it says I cannot share while you are sharing.
Let me cancel mine.
Yeah.
All right, try that.
Thanks. 1 second. Yeah. So I want to get more into the KubeVirt part where we actually use the 1.9 release features. But just to get a context here, flight control is an open source that allows managing edge devices. In general, we have a bunch of workloads that we allow to run on edge devices, Quadlets, Compose, Helm, and with this release, we are also supporting virtual machines with the help of KubeVirt, and I'm going to show how this works. So there are reasons for customers for running it on the edge VMs. In the past, there was this kind of notions that container could replace VMs, but I guess I don't need to mention it to you guys that VMs are desirable. So first of all, this was work that I led with the help and support from Vladik and other KubeVirt members. What we are doing is running KubeVirt launcher only on the edge, so there is no Kubernetes or anything like that. I have adapted a pre-existing work from Vladik, which is KubeVirt VM to pod. We are using something similar that basically utilizes KubeVirt API and renders the pod, but then transforms it into a Quadlet native units. This specific relies heavily on past and image volume support that were added in this KubeVirt feature. And yeah, with that, I want to show a very quick demo. I'll skim through to the more relevant part to your interests. So we have a fleet of devices, and then this example here, we're showing a simple form build, which is backed by a KubeVirt API. This is for the very simple Fedora VM. I'll skim past all of that, and we can see that we get it. So this is, we're running on the control plane, and the VM is running on the edge. We're tunneling the serial console, and we can control the VM, but that's a very simple solution. So now we can also see, so here I'm showing that we can restart and stop and start the VM. But I think the more interesting use case is a Windows use case where the KubeVirt YAML is a bit more complex. So we have this kind of KubeVirt specific YAML. This is exactly like you would use within any KubeVirt control planes, and it simply runs and runs it on the edge. The nice thing is that since we're using past, you don't really need to run it as root, because yeah, past is unprivileged, does not require privileged stuff, so it all just work. Yeah, thank you. I hope you find this interesting. Thanks.
Very cool. Thank you. Does anyone have some questions about flight center or flight control?
Yeah, it's flight control. Yeah, happy to answer anything. If you guys have any questions, the project is open source, and also the tool that is used to convert these kind of VMs into quadlets is also open source. So feel free to Slack me or send me an email. I'll help you. Thanks.
Looks like we have a couple of questions, or at least hands up.
Hi, Asaf. That's like great stuff. Just wanted to ask you, how did you implement the remote connection between the handler and the launcher?
Sorry, how did we implement what?
The connection between the Virt handler and the launcher. If I understand correctly, the launchers are running on the edge, right?
Yeah, the launcher is running on the edge, correct.
And they are being controlled by a central, like the Virt handler is still running on the cluster and managing them?
No, it is not running. So we're only running the KubeVirt launcher. We're controlling it using quadlets. And that's it. So it is all managed by flight control spec, but the actual VM running and the API YAML structure is KubeVirt's.
Oh, I got it. Okay, thank you.
Rashid, you've got your hand up.
The question, Asaf. Yes. So what are the typical hardware devices of flight control?
Yeah, so right now we're focusing on Linux-based devices. So it's a device that should be able to run the Linux kernel. Well, the most prevalent use case is devices running an OS tree-based solution. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with that, but it's basically like transactional operating system. Again, a technology backed by Red Hat, but yeah. So in terms of hardware, anything that can run that kind of spec, I'm not super sure, but it could be even quite relatively.
Like single board,
yeah.
Like single board computers, or
Yeah, so
like a
not
Jepsen board.
embedded, right? Not embedded. So something
Okay.
with the amount of prerequisite to run, for example, CentOS or something like that.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's
There
the
one more
protocol
hand?
between the
Vladek.
okay? What's the protocol between the control plane and the agent?
Yeah, so currently it's HTTP and gRPC mostly. We're actually looking into that right now, but it seems that it's going to remain that.
Are you considered to moving to Quick?
No, we haven't considered that yet, but since you're bringing it up, I'll have a look. Anything else?
I just wanted to add that. Yeah, sorry. So I just wanted to add is that the good part about this is that I mean this is just a standalone regular Virt launcher. So any work that we do inside KubeVirt to enhance the Virt launcher, whether it's at some point it could support different types of VMMs, or the work that we've done recently with NVIDIA to support the newest hardware. That could already be used standalone without the KubeVirt infrastructure, just the image itself. And to make it all better, I mean, we have plans to make the rendering part as part of the KubeVirt API. So then you just be able to render out the pod that actually has everything that's needed to be run just by standalone. Thank you very much, Asaf.
Yeah, thank you.
So I don't see Itamar here, but he's got something here. So the VEP deadline is next week. There is, if we have a look at the board, so Itamar sent out an email, which you can see here. And we've got the project board here, which takes you to the thing we're about to look at. Just a couple of things. Reviewer is supposed to LGDM before asking for an approver to have a look. Similarly, something like 50 of the 79 VEPs at the moment do not have an assigned VEP reviewer. So that's a lot, and half of them don't have a designated SIG either. I reached out yesterday and asked some of the SIGs to take a look at theirs, but we're still missing a significant amount of those. So people responsible for or heavily involved in their SIGs, please go through this project board. Let's take a look at it. If you wonder what it is that I'm talking about, it is this is the designated VEP reviewer. Also, we've talked about them being the shepherd for the VEPs going forward and through the life cycle. And this is the SIG column here. And so you can see that a bunch of them are owned until you get down to here, and it's a bit of a wasteland. Yeah, I do know that there are some observability ones there that haven't been tagged, and I'm hoping they'll get back to me. But also we've got a bunch. Itamar's agent has gone through and flags these based on the criteria met or unmet. And I think a third we have here as yellow. Many of these are proposed for consideration, but a lot of them are somewhat off the radar. I see someone has their hand up.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that, first of all, it's the author's responsibility to go to the appropriate SIG meeting, push hard for the VEP, and that we have limited capacity of the number of VEPs we can review, and that we can shepherd. So if you want your VEP to be in the version, please push for it hard. the SIGs don't have capacity to push hard for.
Yeah, very big +1 to that. And unfortunately, the SIG network and SIG storage have met for the last time before the SIG meeting. So you will need to reach out to people off band if you haven't already. And I think, yeah,
Andrew,
basically, hello?
I think one of the SIGs actually asked for meeting ahead of the deadline, right?
Yeah, SIG network.
Yeah, SIG network.
Oh, they have? Okay. When is that?
It would be great if we could schedule a meeting on 31st, so at least people will have a couple of days before the web freeze. But I think we already have something on 1st September, but probably that's not enough.
That is the VEP discussion, right?
Mhm.
Right. Okay, so all right, so SIG network. If you have a network VEP, network-related VEP, you can catch them again next Monday. And is that at the usual SIG networking time?
It's not scheduled yet. Maybe we were hoping if you could schedule it for us.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay.
Can you please ping me on either Slack or
Yep.
email?
I'll do that.
Cool, thank you. So if that is at the regular time, that'll be at 12 o'clock UTC time. SIG storage, are you likely to meet as well, or are you under control? Do we have someone from SIG storage?
I'm actually from SIG storage, but I had a question about my specific VEP. I'm kind of new to the VEP process here. And I've gotten the relevant approvals from the SIG storage maintainers, as well as my VEP assignee or reviewer. I guess I just had a question about what channels I should reach out to get the final root maintainer approval.
Good question. I would have said reach out via the PR and tag. It's either Itamar, Lubo, or Vladik, either three approvers. And so if you've got multiple LGTMs, there might be a little backlog. I think Vladik and Lubo are both here if you want
to. I'm sorry, I was distracted a little bit.
No, them
Could you
feels.
please repeat the question?
Yeah, so Dan was just asking, he's new to the VEP process. It sounds like he's got all of his boxes ticked, his T's crossed, and his I's dotted. He's just wondering how he gets the final approval.
And what VEP is it? Sorry.
Yeah, if you scroll up to the top, it's related to the IO thread virq mapping. I
342.
believe.
I have it in my queue actually, so
Yeah,
it should be by end of the week.
Okay, excellent. I just wanted to make sure it was on someone's radar before the freeze. Thank you.
And so we are at time, but I just wanted to, I think last VEP deadline, we hit an issue where we had some build problems, and that was preventing the PRs from being adequately merged. People worried that this meant that they were missing the deadline. That is, as far as I'm aware, an automatic exception. If everything looks good, it's just not going through or prevent from an infra reason, then I don't think you really need to raise in a section. That should be fine. But I would just get in touch with the final approvers. Any questions or corrections on that statement? If not, I'll wrap up because we're over time. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck with all of the VEPs, all of the reviewing. If you're running into roadblocks, we've got the VEP discussion next week. We've got the SIG networking meeting. Please use the KubeVirt dev Slack channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great week. See you next week.
Thank you.
you.
Bye.